Beholden to truth. Christ culture. White identity. And fitness lifestyle. Red pilling the masses. On the front lines. Against the synagogue of Satan.
Wow, it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, actually, since I got to hang out with you guys and just share a heart-to-heart talk about the things we share in common and the things we care about and the things we're trying to accomplish. So I'm glad to be back with you. It's earlier than normal. My happy hour sessions are usually somewhere in the afternoon around like the lunch hour kind of time, maybe 1 or 2 in the afternoon. But today it just hit 8 a.m. And so we're off to the races today. I'm trying to get my gym session in early because I have a busy 9 to 5 work day, my corporate life. So this is how it works. In terms of time management, when you have a full-time job, you have a side gig, you're trying to maintain your physical health, you're trying to maintain your spiritual health, going to church, doing Bible study. You're trying to stay educated. You're trying to stay on top of the news cycle so you know what's going on around you. I mean, it's a lot, and I've been feeling it lately. So this is going to be a little bit more of a raw happy hour than usual, just because my life has been pretty stressful for the last week for sure. It's been very stressful for a long time, honestly, but the last week was a little bit of acute stress just because the workload was very high, and then personal stress with relationship stuff not working out. So you're like disappointed, trying to stay motivated to do the things you know you must do while you are feeling emotionally distraught is something you have to master, and it takes years to master. Like, I remember being a youngster, being a teenager, and in my 20s, get dumped or whatever bad thing happens, you get laid off, and it would be like derailing. Like, it throws your diet off, it throws your exercise off. Not that I was exercising back then, but I would like eat even worse. Maybe you drink even more, you party even more to distract yourself from those negative feelings that you don't want to cope through. That was how I coped back then, was all those immediate coping mechanisms. You distract yourself with watching 7 seasons of Mad Men, or you distract yourself with some whiskey and Coke, or distract yourself with some weed, or you distract yourself with pornography. I mean, there's a million things, which coincidentally, none of which are healthy, that we can reach to immediately feel better in the short term and defer confronting those emotional conflicts that we're facing at that time. And so here I am now as a fully grown man, 37 years old. I learned that those immediate coping mechanisms do not help. And in fact, they tend to pull you down even further and strip you of your ability to get out of that black hole. So now how I cope through emotional distress is by self-investment rather than self-destruction. How can you self-invest? You can take care of your physical body. You can take care of your mind through educating yourself. You can take care of your soul by being engaged spiritually with the creator of the universe, who is God, who is Jesus Christ. So when you're feeling distressed, those are the things you should be reaching for. It should be, I got to go to the gym. Okay, I got to try to get in the best shape I've ever been in. I got to clean up my diet. I got to get educated on this news cycle because they're using words that I don't understand. I don't know who they're talking about. I don't know the history of the conflicts they're talking about. I got to go to church and make sure I understand what the text says and what it means. When people attack Christianity, I need to know how to refute their arguments. When people attack me and my people and my ancestors as white people, I need to know how to defend those confrontations. I need to know how to stand up for myself. So, I mean, there's like an infinite amount of self-improvement you can do as an alternative to self-destructing when you are stressed and in emotional turmoil. And so, I mean, that's all I've been doing. You know, I've been having some personal stress, and so it's just like, all right, you can either reach for the things that are going to hurt you more, or you can pour more into beholding the truth and grow that platform. You can pour more into going to church and engaging in fellowship. You can pour more into getting educated on history. Obviously, we've been doing the gym thing for 10 years, so that's not really going to fluctuate. That's just like part of a core routine in my life. But it does, just because it's a core routine of my life doesn't mean it's not still a hour a day minimum, 5 days a week minimum. And that's just the lifting. I also have an hour of LISS, low intensity steady state cardio, because we're during summer, it's peak cutting season. So that's what I've been focused on. I just focus on the diet, focus on hitting my routine, focus on growing beholding the truth, growing spiritually at the church, knocking it out with my 9-to-5 corporate life. Just focus on all of those things and not all of the other dopamine spikes that you can get from the immediate gratification of the party life, going out, hookup culture, mindless distractions, watching dozens of hours of content that doesn't do anything for you. So that's been what's going on with me. I'm looking at an agenda of a couple things I wrote down to talk about. And I guess I can go into those. I'm sipping on a Rockstar. It's actually almost finished, and I need to finish it because the next beverage I'm going to open up is a pre-workout. Yes, we're double dosing today. Going straight from a Rockstar to this is the Chris Bumstead's pre-workout, sour watermelon flavor with a hit of lemon juice. Absolutely delicious. Chased with or chased by or chased with. It's the chaser for this delicious tangerine mango guava strawberry Rockstar. So I said we're getting started early today. I was like, you know what? We're going back to back caffeine. And also, I've actually already been up for 2 hours, by the way. I said it's early. It was just past 8 a.m. I've been up for 2 hours. So I already got up, walked Gilbert, did an hour worth of my corporate work, got all these caffeinated beverages in a bag, got in my car and got myself to the gym parking lot. I'll do this happy hour and then I'll go in there, and it's actually got to be a leg day, by the way. It's got to be the hardest, most difficult, most disciplined day of the week, of course, because when things are hard, they're always very hard. So if you guys have been watching on Instagram, where I have now accumulated a ridiculous, the number doesn't even sound real to me, but 16,700 followers. Craziness. I mean, it was like less than a year ago, I think the account had less than 1,000 followers. If I got like 50 likes in a day, I was like, dang, we're doing good today. I got 3 followers the other day. That's a great day. Now, the account's been clocking consistently every day for multiple months. On average, more than 100 new followers every day. And at peak, 400 new followers every day. We are reaching 500,000 accounts per month. And we are getting over 1 million impressions per month. That's an atom bomb of information. It's an atom bomb of noticing. And we are just one of multiple large accounts. I can call myself a large account now, who are getting this information out there. Now, a lot of the other large accounts are anonymous, and I've talked about this before. There's a rank in the Army that is a necessary group that are anonymous activists, and there's also a separate rank in the Army for people who are the leaders, who have the face and the charisma and the articulation and the courage to go out there and lead with their face and identity attached to it. I've talked about this many times before, so I really don't feel like going over the whole thing. But anonymous activism is very, very important, and I don't want people to think that I am saying that the work that I do with my platform is more important than the accounts who are as big as mine or even bigger than mine that are anonymous. They're just different ranks in the Army, like I said. The Navy versus the Marines versus the Army, they have different purposes. So, otherwise, beholden to truth, the platform, yeah. We got the clean graphite hoodie on with the updated crest. Boom. Christ culture, white identity, fitness lifestyle. Very, very cozy. It's like I'm just sleeping in bed when I wear one of these. And extremely aesthetic. It's got the pre-faded vintage look. It already has been a talking point for people out in the world. When I just wear it, they look at it, they cock their head, and I can see them thinking. It's so cool. I can see them thinking. White identity? This guy's a Christian, and he's saying white identity. I don't understand. And it's like the gears were turning in their brain, and they just go clunk, and then they just stop turning. Like their brain goes into gridlock, and it's like, he's Christian and he cares about white people. How can this be? I don't understand. So this leads me to my next, it's kind of inextricable points. The merch and what the merch conveys, our message, our three priorities: Christ culture, white identity, and fitness lifestyle. I get two questions over and over and over every single day from people who I meet personally and from all of the random people on social media who leave comments on my content or send me DMs. And they all believe they're the first person to make this astute observation. It's either one of two things. It's either, how can you say you're a Christian, which is supposed to be a religion that is open to all races and you have to treat everybody the same, but also say that you want America to be a majority white country or that you prefer to be surrounded by other white people? How can that be? How can you be a Christian? And even more so, how can you call yourself a Christian missionary? Somebody who is supposed to be out there preaching the gospel, bringing people into the fold. But you just said that you prefer the company of white people and you want your city, state, nation to be majority white. So how can you be a Christian missionary? And this is it. Like they are swirling in confusion. They cannot compute. So I'll go into that. The other question that I get over and over and over, and it's the same thing. They see two of my priorities and they can't figure out how they can coexist. And in this case, they see me post a physique update where I am 7% body fat, flexing, trying to find the right lighting with the right pump. It's part of fitness modeling. We all understand, fitness models understand that to show off your physique in its most flattering possible way, it's a combination of factors. It's how lean you are, it's how much muscle you have, it's the lighting conditions, it's your hydration level, it's how many carbs you have in your system. I mean, there's a lot of variables that come together to create the best possible portrayal of the hard work you have invested over, in my case, 10 years of sacrifice and self-denial. That's what a video, when you pull up a video of me flexing and trying to find the ideal way to show what 10 years of hard work looks like, 10 years of walking the narrow path and turning away the sins of gluttony and sloth. This is why people respond so allergically when they see somebody in great shape who is not afraid to show it. The average population isn't just in average health. The average population is now in very poor health. Obesity has not doubled in the last 50 years. It has tripled in the last 50 years. The average woman's body fat is like 40%. So people have this allergic reaction to seeing somebody who has maintained an extraordinary amount of discipline over the course of a huge portion of their life and made many, many sacrifices that they themselves have not been willing or able to make. And when they see that, it makes them feel self-conscious. And so they look for something to attack in the person who has that physique. Maybe it's something's wrong with their face. Ha ha ha, I got teeth problems. I got a missing tooth over here. Who cares what your body looks like? Ha ha ha, look at that. Oh, look at the nose on this guy. Look at the hair's messed up. Look at the asymmetry of his abs. Who cares that he's 7% body fat and I've never even seen my abs before? His abs aren't perfectly symmetric. Look at one of his traps is, it's like they'll find like this micro flaw in whatever you look like visually, or they'll look for some other personal attribute about yourself, which for me, I make very public that I'm a Christian and that I'm a white advocate. And so they'll say something about like, of course, the jacked guy would be a Nazi, or of course, these guys who call themselves Christians are secretly prideful, vain, sex obsessed because you posted with your shirt off. And so that's what they'll do. They'll attack aspects of my character or other aspects of my exterior because they feel self-conscious and now immediately aware that I have done a lot of things that are very difficult to do that they themselves have not had the strength or resolve to do themselves. So that's a lot of the psychology that's happening whenever I'm getting these comments, and I know that people are feeling something inside that's self-conscious about themselves, and so they're just immediately reflexively attacking me and saying, wait, you're Christian, you can't post with your shirt off. Wait, you're Christian, you're not allowed to talk about the differences in racial cultures, like as if any of this stuff makes sense. So those two questions that come up over and over again, Christianity contradicts white advocacy, and posting fitness lifestyle content, physique updates, stuff like that, that's vanity or it's sexually suggestive, and so that violates your Christianity. So you shouldn't be doing that either. And so it's like, all right, don't be me. Don't share the most important parts of my life that have saved me as a human being and made me successful as a human being and made me into the 1% category in multiple areas of my life, whether that's professionally, educationally, physically. But you're telling me don't share that stuff. Okay, got it. Don't share how to be successful on these things. Don't show the evidence that I know what I'm talking about. How can I show the evidence that I know how to get to 5% body fat and I know how to add 50 pounds of muscle onto your body? How do I show the evidence for that? Sit here with a hoodie on where you can't see how much muscle I have and you can't see how much body fat I have? It's like, I swear, it's like I have to explain these things through the lens of a kindergartner. But you can't let these detractors, haters, get to you. It's just these two questions come up over and over and over and over. The racial one, how can you do white advocacy while calling yourself a Christian missionary? I don't get it. So I had to have a 2-hour-long conversation with 2 pastors at one time earlier this week. And when I say had to, that came out wrong. It sounds like it was a chore that I didn't want to do. I voluntarily signed up to do this, and I was very excited to do it, and I had a great time doing it. And I appreciated that they took the time to talk to me, and I think they actually, by the end of the 2 hours, began to understand that perhaps my arguments actually don't violate the gospel in any way, shape, or form. And so I'll get into that if you just let me take a swig of this pre-workout here. Uno momento por favor. Shout outs to Chris Bumstead. He makes a good pre-workout. of hurts my heart a little bit. Chris Bumstead, you know, he's got his, I don't think they're married, but his girlfriend, Courtney King. That's life goals, you know, that's all I wanted. I wanted a nice fitness girl who loves God to come and help me build this empire that is devoted to defending Christendom, defending our people, and reinstalling healthy common sense in our society. Tearing down this whole healthy at any weight, live and let live, love is love culture where nothing matters. There are no standards for anything. Do anything sexual you want. Treat yourself, your own body, however you want. It's just a free-for-all, and it's falling apart at the seams because of that. There's no consistency. Nobody cares about the history. Nobody cares about God. Nobody cares if they're offending God. Largely because they don't even believe in God. Oh, man, you guys. This is what I talk about, where the stress that I have on my shoulders, I take all these things very seriously, and I put my life savings on the line to try to address them. I've put my reputation on the line to try to address them. I've lost family members. I've lost friends. I struggle in my romantic life because of my advocacy work for these things. And so that's where, when I posted the physique update this week, I think I put the caption that said something like, you know, some days, by the end of them, I have absolutely nothing left to give. Like, I'm trying to get this merch online, and there's a few other administrative kind of things that have to get done before I can hit the start taking orders button. I got to do a photo shoot because I updated the crest with the white identity and all that stuff underneath it. And so I have to make sure people know that that's part of the apparel before they buy it. I don't want anybody to be misled thinking that this is only Christian apparel when there's a clear white identity aspect of what Beholden to Truth represents. They are simultaneous priorities. Christ will always be number one. White identity and fitness lifestyle come after. But I got to get photos of all the merch again, and then you have to edit the photos, and then you have to upload the photos to the store website, and then I can start taking orders. And it's just like, I know it needs to get done. It just takes time, and it takes straight up bandwidth. And I only have so much. And so I put that post up last night, just saying, like, man, I got nothing left to give. By the time I get into bed every night, it's like, I did my 9 to 5. I got to the gym. I spent the other 3 or 4 of my free hours that day hammering out content for Beholden to Truth, responding to messages, working on the merch, taking care of Gilbert, walking him for an hour a day, cooking up some kind of home-cooked meal that has the exact right amount of calories, the exact amount of protein that I need. Somewhere in between all that, I'm supposed to vacuum the floor, and I'm supposed to go grocery shopping, and I'm supposed to take care of the pool in the backyard. I'm supposed to be planting flowers and trimming the hedges. By the way, you got to call an electrician because this outlet is not working. The kitchen lights aren't working for some strange reason. A couple weeks ago, it was call a plumber. It's just like all of this stuff, man. And I've built, by the good graces of God, a very enjoyable life. And, you know, by the time you're in your mid to late 30s, I think you should have been able to put together a pretty comfortable life for yourself and hopefully for others. So it's not that I'm like especially unique or accomplished. This is kind of where people should be by the age that I am. But the more you build, the more you have to maintain and take care of. And so I've built a very, very comfortable life, but it does mean I have a lot to take care of. I have to take care of my 9 to 5. I have to take care of Beholden to Truth. I have to take care of the home. I became a homeowner last year for the first time. It's not a small home. I have to take care of my dog. I have family obligations. I have family in town who I love seeing every week. I have to take care of my spiritual faith, needing to go to church. I need to read the Bible. And so that's what I mean in that, like, I've built a great life where I feel very, very healthy and accomplished and in love with God and serving him and willing to do anything for him. But some help with all of these simultaneous things would be amazing. Just a little bit, just like somebody to say, hey, I can do that. I can do those things for you. And having some kind of support that would say, like, yeah, I agree that you doing all these things is important. I want to see you succeed because these things you're doing are important. The emotional support that I have absolutely zero of in my life. I have a negative amount of emotional support in my life. A negative amount of personal support. Every person I know in my personal life, family, friends, etc., do not want my priorities to succeed. They don't want Christian nationalism. They don't want a majority white country. They think that's racist. They don't want the deconstruction of feminism. They think we live in a tyrannical patriarchy. And so it's like literally people want me to fail. The few people that I have in my personal circle want me to fail. Like if they haven't written me off, they actively disagree with me and simply tolerate my beliefs. Nobody comes close to, hey, how can I help you? You're doing good work. I'm proud of you. I have none of that. Do you guys understand how difficult that is? When people are attacking your career because of what you do, when people don't want to involve themselves romantically with you because of what you do, when your family members write you off and you're no longer allowed to participate in the holidays, you can't see your nephews and nieces and so on. Nobody that you personally know is proud of you, supports you, encourages you. So, I told you guys, it was going to be a little bit of a venting session today. This is for me more so than it is for you guys. That's probably going to be it for today. I see that we're already coming up on half an hour. Oh, man. It's not easy being me, you guys. It's not easy. I got too much that I want to accomplish. I got too little help. All I got on my side is my faith, which isn't too little. You know, after all of this complaining and bemoaning, I do know that technically I don't need anything more than God. If I never get any other help in my personal life, I have you guys, my followers, who are helping to accumulate momentum and get this message out there, and you're all the support that I have. That's why I kept using the term my personal life. I have no personal support. So I know I have you guys' support. That's why I love you guys so much, and that's why I see you guys as my family these days, because you guys know far more about my life and my priorities and actually care about wanting me to succeed and support me. That's what I get from you guys. That's the stuff I should get from family and friends and from romantic endeavors, but nope, none of that. I get that from my good old internet family, you guys. All of the groypers and all of the anonymous Christian crusaders. So, is there anything else I got on my mind? I have to use the bathroom. After pounding all these beverages, I need to get in here and have this leg day, get it over with, and then go home and do the corporate 9 to 5. And in whatever time I have after that, I got to get the images of this merchandise taken and then edited and on the store, and so I can start taking orders for you guys. That's what the rest of today, and that's what probably the rest of the week looks like. For the images, I tried to do just merch images, like not on a model, like where you have like a white background, it's just sitting on a table or whatever, and they just didn't turn out the way to my standards. I haven't done photographs like that before. I have much more experience just doing photography of a model. Like, I have even more experience just being the self model. So I have to go and try on all the clothes, take pictures of them. And so it's like changing in and out of a bunch of outfits. Boo-hoo, I know, super hard work. I'm just saying, it's time consuming. You got to get the lighting right. I'm thinking through all of this stuff now, and I'm just like, how many hours are in the day? How much sleep do I need? Oh, man. Okay, you guys, that being said, I'm going to shut this off and actually switch to responding to some of your messages on Instagram. Finish up this pre-workout, and then go in there and get this leg day done, and then go to the 9 to 5, and then come home and start working on merch and all that stuff. Talk to you guys soon. I appreciate you letting me vent today. I know that was a lot, and I was just sitting there going off on random stuff, but this is the behind the scenes kind of stuff that I wanted you guys to know. Like, I mean, that's what it really is I've explained this to a couple of people before, not that many, but one of the ways I wanted Beholding the Truth to be unique as compared to these other podcasts that you can go and watch about alt-right conservatism, whether that's like Christian nationalism, white nationalism, America First, that kind of stuff. They basically just serve you straight up political content, political analysis, theological conversations, and that's great. So do I. But they pretty much turn the camera off, and that's it. Like, you're not really getting to see the behind the scenes of that person's life and their personal hobbies and what they do on a daily basis. You see them talk about subject XYZ, and that's it. And I just wanted to do something different than that. I'm not going to say grew up, but the way I got into the fitness lifestyle 10 years ago was through YouTube vlogging content. Accounts like Brandon Harding and Athleen X, Ziz, his brother Chess Bra, David Lade, all the other aesthetics movement kind of guys. You had Matt Ogus, Rich Piana, many other bodybuilders. They basically just take you along with them in their daily life. This is what I eat for breakfast. This is how I meal prep. This is the kind of cardio that I do. Well, because you're following me around, here are my other hobbies. I like to go to the dog park. I like to go do this and that. And so you're seeing like their valuable expert advice on their specialty, which is bodybuilding, but they're including you in their life and their side hustles and in their relationships. And I liked that. I really did. And so when I got into political analysis, I was like, well, I want people to have that same experience of, okay, this might be my specialty and everything, but I would like you to know where this information is coming from, what my worldview is shaped by, who I am when I'm not talking about these subjects. So that's just one of the ways I wanted to make Beholding the Truth unique. The confluence of the three things that we're always talking about are also unique. There's nobody else who's doing this. There's nobody else who is simultaneously doing Christian evangelism and white advocacy and preaching the fitness lifestyle. Certainly not as explicitly, as clearly, and with such expertise that I have in all three. So I hope you're enjoying the content. I wish I could do more of these day in the life vlogs and happy hours, but as I talked about thoroughly in this one, there's only so many hours in the day, and I'm trying to do a lot of different things. So be gracious with me. I love you guys. I'll talk to you again soon.